There we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. And yeah, I did just see this stuff on Joe Rogan. I have to say I'm not surprised. This is what Rogan normally always does. He plays the middle. He never wants to take a side. So, I wonder what Rogan's going to do when RFK drops out. Kamala just backed out of the Fox News debate. It's very sad. Very, very sad. Kamala needs the debates. She is afraid of Fox News. I mean, I don't understand. What's the big deal? I'm going to try and stop drinking as much water just because I know it's annoying for people. Yeah, the betting, I know it's tied. It's tied. Rogan, fake independent. Yeah, it's the bottom line with Rogan. I guess he thinks... Well, honestly, I don't even know because he has gone pretty far right, let's be honest. Burned oils, yeah, I mean, my day's been fine. Rogan, yeah, he normally just plays the middle. When would you think RFK... I mean, at some point, it's going to be obvious, man. Like, in September, I would say. Fox should do a town hall with Trump. Well, certainly. I think they're probably waiting until closer to the election or at least closer to early voting. Harris is... somebody mentioned it in the chat. Harris is going to wait until the end of August to actually do a sit-down interview. They're trying to get her to the convention so they can get a bunch of money before she gets ripped apart by the media, or at least she does an interview. I mean, it really is the bare minimum. It really is the bare minimum to just do an interview, even with a softball interview, you know, with CNN or MSNBC. I mean, I used to think when people did interviews, it's like, it's just normal. I didn't think it's this huge thing where she's like, I can't do interviews. I'm too scared. Trump needs to hit the campaign trail in PA. Yeah, I know. I mean, he needs to go everywhere, not just PA, though. Paxton, what's up, man? Will the Ravens win the Super Bowl? I mean, the Ravens are going to have a chance, I guess. I know Lamar Jackson hasn't been great in the playoffs, but... yeah, they always do that, the white dudes for Trump. But I did want to play this clip, I mean, because Trump is really doing some good stuff here. This is what I want my leader to say about... he basically says about Russia and China, how they're getting closer together and how that's a bad thing. You'll never hear this from liberals. They don't even talk about this stuff, but this is true. This is what's going on.
China needs more land and Russia has the impossible combined. They're natural enemies. They always have been, because China needs more land and Russia has it. They've always been natural enemies, and because of Obama, it started with him, and then Biden, because he didn't know what the hell he was doing, they've now become one force. And then now they're adding Iran to it, and they're adding North Korea to it.
Yeah, it's going to be those four as the Axis powers, I would say. Is Trump talking too much? I mean, I don't think so. Where did Rogan endorse RFK? Yeah, there's a clip. Maybe I have it saved. But dude, with Rogan, it's just, he does like lukewarm endorsements, you know. I don't think, thoughts on Dark MAGA? Dude, I hope Dark MAGA, that's got to be the coin, man. That has to be the coin. I don't think she would make it through a softball. She would need something scripted. I mean, that's embarrassing, honestly. How can you not complete an interview? This is ridiculous. China is buying land in Hawaii. Yeah, I think that's going to be illegal. For foreign countries to purchase land, that's got to be illegal. Trump is the first Republican since Bush in '88 to lead a poll in August. I don't think that's true. Maybe the aggregate, but definitely other Republicans have led polls, like singular polls, but maybe you're talking about the aggregate, like the all of the polls combined. I could see something like that. Heard Rogan will interview Trump in October. Any truth to that? I didn't hear that personally. I mean, I speculated he would interview Trump. What I speculated Rogan would do, because he always tries to play the middle, he would say, oh, I'm going to have a debate. It's going to be Kamala against Trump. It's an open invitation. We all know Kamala's going to decline it. So then Rogan, that'll be his in at doing, well, I guess I can only do an interview with Trump because Kamala declined it. So that's really what Rogan does. Dude, this stuff that's going on in the UK, I mean, they've got to overthrow that government. Think before you post. They're talking about people posting, people retweeting stuff going to jail. You got to take that government down. That's crazy. Sup, you're 12 years old. Wow. You're a young buck. He's got to slow down with all the insults. Yeah, I mean, he's got to get back on the campaign trail. He's got to get back on the campaign trail. I meant aggregate. Yeah, top. Yeah, I gotcha. Do you know more about football than Waltz? I mean, I'm sure he was an assistant high school coach, and obviously he's been in politics, so I'm sure he doesn't really follow it much anymore. Yeah, I agree. Billy, you're right. Really, no one's going to vote for her. I agree. Rogan endorsed Bernie, I know, back in 2016. If Kamala wins, she's going to decline her inauguration. World War III in Europe. The UK has gone. Yeah, man. What's going on with the UK? Like, even for the government account to tweet this, I mean, it did get ratioed to hell. How about that? 1K likes, almost 2K likes, 24. I mean, that's very dystopian. That's very sad to see a tweet like that. That just goes to show you where they're at right now. And they always just blame the white people. It's crazy. They blame their own citizens. Because, I mean, those people have got to be controlled. They're all controlled by people even higher than them. Just how something like that happens. They don't. The leaders of these countries don't actually want what's best for the natural-born citizens of the countries. They have no First Amendment in the UK. Yeah, you're right, and certainly no Second Amendment. Going back, looking at 2020, Trump had 5-point leads in the Rust Belts with like 85% of the vote. Yeah, the way that vote came in makes no sense. How does it take how does it take 3 days to count a vote? That makes it's just, you've got states that can have bigger populations that count in 3 hours, and then it takes certain states 3 days. It's like they lost votes or something and then they found them. And that's why they didn't declare the election until 4 days after it or whatever it was. Wondering when Americans will learn from history that you can't avoid communism by voting. Well, I mean, what's going on in the UK? I wonder what liberals think about what's going on in the UK. They probably envy this type of government control. This would be... They can't do this, dude. They can't enforce it because we have guns. Even if they tried taking them, there's too many guns in the population. I mean, you think Jill Stein will win Minnesota? Yeah, because Waltz is hated. Jill Stein needs to win a state. Maybe Massachusetts. Yeah, I do think RFK is going to have a cabinet position. Team Kamala was informed of the stolen valor letter about Waltz a week and a half ago. It was brushed off per the White House. And apparently Biden told them not to do that. Team Biden said, I told you so. You shouldn't have had Waltz. They didn't vet him properly, or Kamala saw it and let it go anyways. Thoughts on Waltz doing 100 miles per hour? Well, I mean, when was that? Like 20 years ago? I don't know about taking, That seems like, I mean, obviously not good, but that seems a little bit more minor than the stolen valor stuff. Thoughts on what Brian Kemp? Yeah, I don't know, man. Brian Kemp and Trump are having this feud. It's unfortunate, but he's like an anti-Trump guy. It's weird, and he didn't even vote for Trump in the primary. He's like, he said I'm not going to vote because Trump was going to win anyways. It's just weird behavior from a politician. How much of a fit do you think the left will throw? I mean, they'll throw a fit. I don't think there's going to be bad riots, though, personally. I mean, they threw a fit in 2016, but there wasn't anything terrible. At least that I know of. Kamala will push for a similar style of censorship. Yeah, but they really can't do that to the United States. Well, I mean, they can try and do something like that, but it would have to be a toned down version of it. I mean, that they've already technically they've already done a soft version of it by utilizing the words misinformation and disinformation to where anything that they don't like, just like with the vaccine and everything, it's all misinformation, it's all disinformation. They really don't know if it's like the Hunter Biden laptop. They don't really know if it's misinformation or disinformation, but it goes against their narrative, so they just call it that, and then it's like, oh, that just means it's false. Are they finally making election a national holiday? Yeah, they should do that. I think it's going to be trending towards that way. I don't know if it's... I didn't hear any announcement on if they did that, or I don't think they actually did do that, but they need to do that, and I think everyone agrees that, that should be. Big day for Solana and Doge. You're looking at Hehe coin. What is it, a shitcoin on Solana at 10 million market cap? I mean, good luck, man. I don't know about that one personally. Bush had a DWI. Yeah, I agree. I mean, when it's that far, if it was 2 years ago, that's different. Do you think Trump is becoming unhinged? I mean, I thought Trump had a pretty normal press conference. I don't see the issue with it. I mean, obviously, liberals are going to say everything is horrible, but I don't see the problem with it. I thought it was a good press conference. I liked what he said about Russia and China. He can at least diagnose that Russia and China are getting closer together. You'll never hear something like that from a liberal. That's important stuff that's happening, and Trump realizes it. That's why we need to have a cordial relationship, specifically with Russia. China's a little bit different. I mean, we need to have a peaceful relationship with them as well, but they're coming after us. I mean, they want to have the number one economy, the number one most powerful nation by 2050. They said it. His wife started it. She said she was writing Kemp for president. Yeah, that's obnoxious behavior. That's main character behavior. I mean, obviously they don't like Trump. They're doing stuff like that. Trump-Kamala debate on CNN. CNN already had a debate. They're not going to get another one. I doubt they'll get another one. They're going to do other networks. Did you see the Vivek-Mark Cuban debate? I mean, I saw them like sucking each other off for the first 10 minutes where they were talking about business. I really didn't see much of the debate. They started talking about climate change, I saw. Was there any important stuff from that? Think CNN should host the debate. They weren't one-sided. Well, they already hosted one. There are way worse holidays that are not significant. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of holidays now, but honestly, do we really even care? I mean, we just care about the main holidays. And honestly, the how is Election Day not a holiday? It's only once every 4 years, unless you want to have the midterms as a holiday too. Why wasn't Youngkin for VP? Well, I mean, I think there's a few reasons. Honestly, he's taller than Trump. That's probably a reason. I'm not even kidding you. Youngkin is 6'5". I looked it up. Yeah, politics, I mean, I guess sometimes you could argue politics is boring, but there's a lot more, I guess, action in it. Trump just acting like 2016 Trump. I mean, there are a lot of people that would disagree with that. They think he's changed from 2016 to now. He's not as hardcore. Yeah, I mean, he is kind of, I wonder if he will. I don't think he's actually going to shut the border down. I think he's going to try and do deportations, but think you are underestimating Kamala. I seriously think she's going to win. Trump keeps putting his foot in his mouth with his. I mean, I don't understand what comment you're talking about that's so bad. I don't think Trump had a big issue with any of these comments. What comment is horrible that's going to lose Trump the election? I think this is just, do we really think like Waltz is going to be a VP? I don't see it, man. I think those are two clowns. That old dude is a clown. He's a very far left dude that's got a ton of white guilt. I hope Vance says he's got white guilt during the debate. That would be hilarious. He'd be like, I'm just woke. Ukraine took 250 kilometers of Russian mainland. They took Russian land? I'm going to have to look at that map. That's interesting. I hope Dark Brandon returns at the DNC. Yeah, I know, me too, but that's not going to happen. That would never happen. I mean, that would be the ultimate soap opera. Dark Brandon comes out, they turn off the music, they turn off the lights, and he does his whisper. What's up, Tilly? Yeah, I saw what Youngkin did with the ballots. Very, very good news. Very good news. Paper ballots. Actually, there it is right there. Russia is close to 20 times 6 larger than Ukraine in land and has 6 times larger population. Yeah, well, there's really no population. There's nobody occupying the eastern side of Russia. It's all just unoccupied land. You look at it on Google Maps, it's interesting to see just how much land is actually unoccupied. There's so much land in the middle of Africa, just gets doused in sun every day. It's just barren. There's just nobody there. Why would Trump compare crowd? Yeah, that was a dumb comment. Okay, I mean, that was a dumb comment, I'm not going to lie, but anyone freaking out about the election needs to calm down. Yeah, no, I mean, this is just an ebb and flow of the election. I agree. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Manufactured hype. Well, they're hoping it goes into the DNC and then she gets more hype. That's why they're hiding her. They don't want her to talk right now. They want her to be as non-threatening, as non-polarizing as possible so they can get as much donor money and they can keep the momentum going. Kamala told a supporter to shut up at a rally today. Really? She said something to the Palestine supporters when at a rally yesterday. She's like, "Well, if you're gonna vote for Trump, just say it." I mean, those people are not voting for Trump, but the Palestine people, they're like far left. They're not. I don't think they're voting for either. Dark Brandon turns the lights off and says, like, yeah, I'm still the president. I mean, he is still the president. Lumen Field, top 5 stadium. I don't think so. Kudos to Youngkin. Yeah, that kind of came out of left field for me. I didn't even know that was going to be happening. Should America buy Antarctica? Technically, they can't buy it because there's a pact between all the nations. I mean, countries claimed Antarctica. Many countries did. I think, I forget, maybe France had a lot of land. Nazi Germany had some land. I mean, a lot of European countries had land in Antarctica in like the 30s, 40s. And then at a certain point, they just all said, it's going to be unclaimed. Nobody can claim it. I mean, I don't know. People want to drill into Antarctica to see if there's anything beneath it. I think we're probably going to be disappointed. I mean, there's planets like Antarctica where the entire planet is just ice. I mean, the Earth was just ice at one point. Trump leading in the polls and betting markets was a very rare thing. He beat Hillary. Yeah, no, Hillary was up by a lot. Well, it wasn't even just the popular vote with Hillary. Hillary was up in every swing state by like mainly 3 or 4 points. Didn't Joe Rogan like Trump? I don't think Rogan really likes Trump. Rogan likes to do the whole thing where he's like, well, Democrats are so crazy right now, but I also don't like Republicans. They're too tribal, so I have to stay in the middle because both are crazy and both gaslight and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I think you have to realize, especially with this UK stuff, it's not a great mentality to have. But listen, I mean, everyone can do whatever they want, but the problem is, I'm not saying what's going to, if Harris wins, that's what's going to happen, but there is going to be a clampdown for sure. It's not like we're going to get more rights with Democrats in office. We all know that. What's on Texas A&M? I mean, they're probably like a 7-5, 8-4 team. We'll see. What does that even do? Well, it takes away the chances of them nefariously doing stuff on like the Dominion machines. Jill Stein would win Greenland. Yeah, it would have like a half electoral vote maybe. I think Trump should offer RFK Justice Department leading spot. Yeah, I think he's going to offer him something, and it'll happen. Antarctica. I do wonder what if the world just all came together and had a mass operation. See how much like area underneath Antarctica we can recover and see actually what's down there. It's a mass operation, billions of dollars. But I think they have pinged what's down there, and I mean, obviously they're not going to tell us. But do I fuck with Star Wars? I mean, I don't mind Star Wars, but it's certainly not my favorite space stuff. Trump should switch out Vance. That's not going to happen. Trump is not switching out Vance. Pre-Ice Age artifacts under the ice. It wouldn't surprise me. They'd probably be really well preserved. I saw they stuck a GoPro camera with a rope down. I don't know if it was I think it had to have been in Antarctica. And they went to the bottom, and at the bottom, the snow was apparently like thousands of years old. It's interesting. I'm home. I've never seen this person. Thank you for the donation. Rumor has it Kamala is refusing Fox debate, doing the ABC debate. Well, yeah, my analysis is it's a very embarrassing look. Remember, she came out and she's like, well, Trump's the one. He's afraid. I got to take that sound off. Trump's the one. He's afraid. He's not going to debate me. And then Trump comes out and says, oh, I'll debate you 3 different times. And then she, because it's not her perfect network, she won't do the Fox News debate. Someone needs to ask her about it. Well, they did ask her, and she just didn't even answer it. She didn't even address it. Nazis built tunnels down there. I mean, with their technology at the time, I find it hard to believe they got very far in the 30s. It's just hard to drill in the 30s. And I guess in the early 40s, the Nazis went there looking for something. I remember reading somewhere that they were running low on supplies, and they needed, so people got sent on an expedition for war. They needed supplies, or they needed some type of material. There's so much stuff in Antarctica they don't want us to know about. Well, I mean, it's impossible to really say. Antarctica, it is people. It's hard to really go there anyway. It's just because of the weather. Would I have sex with porn stars? I'm not interested, man. I'm not interested in that stuff, man. Come on. JD is a great pick. I think JD is a fine pick. He'll prove to be a good pick. He's gotten a lot of hate. It's just mainly based off the timing. Because the hype with Kamala has happened right after Vance got picked, so that's kind of making Republicans say this was not a good pick. But I think it's more of a coincidence. And yeah, Youngkin is real liked. What's up, RB? Thoughts on Arizona? I think Arizona is probably going to Trump. I like the numbers in Arizona right now. Is ABC pro-Harris? Yeah, Trump actually has a lawsuit against Stephanopoulos, the main, who would be the main moderator, but they already said that Stephanopoulos is not going to be moderating it because there's litigation with Trump and him. It's crazy. But Stephanopoulos acted like a total asshole to Byron Daniels on Sunday. That was one of the most disgusting things. I mean, he was just like a bitch. I mean, I don't want to call a dude a bitch, but that's what it was. Kamala is waiting for questions and answers to any left-leaning network debate. Yeah, remember when they leaked? Remember when they leaked the questions to Hillary back in 2016 during the town hall? Well, then why didn't Trump just say, I will accept ABC if she does Fox? Instead, he looks weak for saying Fox. No, he accepted all of them. He accepted all three. So he did accept the ABC debate. He accepted 3 debates. It's not like he just said only Fox. Originally, he said only Fox, but then he accepted all 3. That's a crazy question. Wait, which question? Yeah, the Nazis did have some absurd technology. The V2 rocket. All the scientists. I mean, we stole them a little bit. We stole some of them. Good evening, yes. Dumb endorsement. RFK has 0 chance at more than 10 electoral votes. I don't think he's going to get a single electoral vote. I would be shocked. I don't think he's going to make it to the election, but if he does, I don't think he'll get an electoral vote. I mean, what state? Where would he get an electoral vote from? These are winner take all. It's not like a primary. It's not like a primary system where you get 5%, you get one. I don't see him winning anything. Yeah, Trump asked for 3 debates. But yet Rogan is interviewing Trump. Yeah, probably Rogan will do an interview with Trump and RFK will announce they're dropping out during the interview and then endorse Trump during the interview. No, I'm kidding, but that would be sweet if that happened. What percentage do you have of Trump winning? I think it's like 99, honestly. I'm not lying. I mean, it's what, we'll see, but will Waltz match Harris as freak? Well, I mean, Waltz is just a weirdo white dude who's obsessed with allowing illegals in. Are you going to be predicting playoff spots? Yeah, probably. I'll do a video like that. They'll definitely be giving her questions. I mean, people were saying that, to be fair, about Biden, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, they get in serious trouble for doing stuff like that if they get caught, but we'll see. Virginia is in play now. Yeah, but dude, I'm waiting for polls in Virginia. Like, seriously, where are the polls? Cuban with Vivek. What a weird interview that was. They had a little play date. Yeah, I saw the RFK Bear thing. I talked about it in my last live stream. What a weird thing. They said he was trying to cover up for something that was coming out, like bad news about him. So I don't even know why you would tell that. It's just a weird story to tell during a campaign when you're running for president. Rogan too busy worrying about aliens. Yeah, I mean, they do a lot of those alien stuff. I find, maybe going to other planets and things like that. Maybe space travel is what. One more question: is Elon Musk a bold trailblazer, or is he? No, Elon's an innovator. Elon is going to go down as certainly with all the stuff that he's got. Think about it with Tesla. I mean, we are going to electric cars. So that's why I always tell people, if you want to buy a stock, buy Tesla. Tesla's going to go out of control, guys. But I don't even buy stocks right now, but I'm just saying, it's so obvious. They're going to mandate electric cars, and you're not going to be able to drive because you'd get in an accident and you're selfish. You need to allow the robot to drive, and then the robots communicate with each other. So it's Tesla, and it's also getting someone on Mars. I'm sure that's what Musk really wants to do with SpaceX. So yeah, he's going to go down as a crazy innovator. I mean, listen, liberals can get mad at him because he doesn't share, he's not liberal, so they're going to be angry. That's it. And he wanted free speech on X, and there's going to be some people that say some bad things. It is what it is. Thoughts, Eli? Thank you. Thoughts on MSNBC debate with Rachel Maddow and Morning Joe as the moderators? Ultimate 3-on-1. Yeah, there's no way. Imagine something like that happened. They bring out Rachel Maddow, the ultimate power duo. Scarborough and Rachel Maddow. Oh my god. And Rachel Maddow is sitting there like with a jail cell, like with the side of a jail cell with bars, and being like, "This is what Trump's gonna do to me." She comes in with bars. I mean, she did say that Trump was gonna put her in like a camp. Like seriously. Stolen valor. Yeah, Republicans have totally defined Waltz. He's screwed. Musk is the man in regards to space systems. Yeah, there's a lot of criticism going on right now about NASA's lack of innovation. Now, whether or not that's warranted, I don't know how the money's being spent, but it seems like NASA's not doing a whole lot in terms of potential space travel. Maybe they're just not telling us about their technology, but I find that hard to believe. I mean, it's a slow moving process with space travel. Remember when you made that funny ass map with everyone? Yeah, I do remember that. CD Lamb to request to trade it. Yeah, you're trolling, man. You gotta stop. Rasmussen reports video today of fake polling numbers for Harris. I didn't see that. I mean, they are a partisan, Rasmussen. I've seen their videos. They always go for Trump, you know. But listen, they were accurate in 2016, so who knows? It takes almost a year for him to retire. Also, his unit didn't know they were going to deploy. No, 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 no. That's not true at all. That's false. They got a warning that they were going to deploy, and then he left after it. So that's false. And that's what liberals were trying to say. If Trump gets Virginia to flip, he'd only need Georgia, Nevada. He could lose Arizona and all the Rust Belt. Yeah, Virginia would open up many different paths for Trump. They can't lose Virginia. And we'll see what happens with the polling. Was the moon landing fake? I mean, it does look fake, but I mean, I have nothing to base it off of, in terms of actually going to the moon. U.S. power grid is old. We need massive upgrades. Screw tubes not giving notifications. Yeah, that happens a lot, man. Yeah, I saw that body cam footage. Unfortunately, I mean, where's the sound on that? The sound would have been needed, but you could see the cop get hoisted up, and then apparently Crooks pointed his gun at him. Do you think Shapiro turned down a VP offer because he thinks Kamala is going to lose? No, I don't think so. If Trump loses Virginia by less than 3%, he definitely takes Georgia, Pennsylvania. Yeah, there's going to be correlation with that. I mean, the problem would be if he loses Virginia by like 8 or 9, but I mean, we'll just look at the market, I guess, the betting. So it is, yeah, you are right, it is tied. They do have some interesting stuff on here. Do you think the polls get back to Biden levels after the debate? What if we have multiple? Yeah, there should be multiple debates. I think there's going to be multiple debates. I don't think they'll get back to Biden level because they screwed Biden and they forced him out and they wanted him to have bad polling numbers. I mean, they leaked their own internals that were horrible. What's up, guys? Mythbusters confirmed it was real? Well then, I mean, good for them. Paper ballots prevent cheating, so it could happen in Virginia. Yeah, Youngkin did a good thing with that. Elon is still interviewing Trump on Monday. That'll be a huge interview. I was at PNC Park today, and I assure you it's a top 3 ballpark. PNC. I mean, yeah, PNC's a good ballpark. I don't know, but I would say it's top 3. People are saying that the Kamala crowd photo. Oh, did you see that video? I mean, they got to be trolling. That's completely AI. What do you think Trump should do to pull more voters? Well, I mean, just campaign and spend money on advertisements, and also the debate. I mean, debates are important. I don't think Harris will do as bad as Biden, but she will lose major momentum after the debate. Yeah, she's not going to be as bad because they cut Biden's funding. Biden was getting no money. The donors said we're not going to give money to Biden. He was getting very little money the last like 3 or 4 weeks. Colbert and Schumer should dance again. Yeah, Schumer looked like a rat in that video. That was weird. Harris only agreed to the ABC debate. I know, but you would think there'd be another one. I mean, Harris would look very weak to only do one debate. Let Vance be the attack dog and Trump should stay on issues. Yeah, that was the original plan I saw that they were possibly going to do. Which should I order? DoorDash? Dude, DoorDash has got to be a ripoff. You'll be paying at least $40 for that. Order some Wendy's. Jack Posobiec said Biden will step down in September and have Kamala run as incumbent. Yeah, no, that's an interesting rumor, and I did see that. He says it's going to be another... He said it's going to be another honeymoon period for her. That's what they're trying to do. Thoughts on Lee Corso? I mean, he's got to retire. Trump should keep doing press conferences. Anyone other liberals probably would appreciate him answering questions. Yeah, that was... Trump is very transparent with those. I mean, you answer questions for an hour from people just randomly. I mean, it's pretty cool to see. I mean, you're not going to get that transparency. With the liberals, it's less transparency and more government control, so it's a double negative. NBC won't be as bad. They're not as liberal. Well, I mean, as long as the debates follow a certain structure like the first one, it's kind of harder for the moderators to become stars. I remember the debates, they used to be so bad because the moderators would start going at Trump and he would start arguing with the moderators. And it's like, if you want to tell Trump to stay on topic, that's one thing, but then they start like arguing about issues. The moderators, especially the women, they try to be the star of the show. I do remember that happening. But the CNN debate was fine. If she's so scared of Fox, she should do one on NBC. Yeah, maybe she will do the NBC one and the ABC one. That could be a possibility. So at least 2 debates. Yeah, everything about her campaign is fake. All the funding for it, I mean, all the support that these influencers give, it's all bought and paid for. Every single thing that an influencer does is bought and paid for. There's no actual support. Go look at some of the terms they said on TikTok. You could get $20,000 if you're an influencer of a certain status for saying anti-Trump stuff. And then they give you cue cards and list on what to say. Uno reverse card. That was a badass move by that trans person. You got to give credit to that. I mean, that was great. That was a great clip. Dark Brandon's not coming back, man. Did I play sports? Yeah, when I was like through 6th grade, I played like football, flag football, and then in 6th grade, I think tackle. But then I didn't play after that, and then I played baseball. The rest. CNN debate was fair. Yeah, I mean, obviously. It basically forced Biden out. Certainly it was fair. Lester Holtz should moderate. Lester Holtz, I think he's probably going to do an interview with Kamala if I had to guess, honestly. Oh my god, dude. You get a spammer, a 12-year-old. In my opinion, Trump needs to stop rambling in circles and stay on script, get back on X. Yeah, well, the thing with X is, a lot of people have been saying, I mean, look at this. A lot of people have been saying that Trump does need to get back on X because it would help his campaign. But it doesn't have to be Trump like rambling on X. He can do that on Truth Social. We just need promotion tweets on X. But like, and also snide little comments that go viral. I think it would help Trump to be on X. But honestly, it's like it's a social media site. I guess every little bit helps. It's hard to judge how much it would help. We'll send him to the camp that Trump is supposedly sending Rachel Maddow. If Iran gets Su-35 before the Israel war, do you think that makes them stronger than Israel? Well, I heard Iran was actually not going to attack now. So hopefully that's true. Dude, the Middle East is going to cause World War III. CNN debate was fair because it was part of the plan. I don't know if the CNN is also in on it. I mean, it's hard to say that. I mean, the CNN being in on it, come on. I think what happened is they were testing and turned out Biden was terrible. And the second that they saw how bad Biden was, they immediately had all the donors come in and change the narrative completely that night. Our Trump would call a lady a lesbian on X. We need to get, yeah, Trump would say some stuff, I'm sure, on X. I mean, he does say it on Truth Social. Is Truth Social growing, worth joining? It's a bad interface. All those knockoff apps have bad interfaces. It's hard to get a good one. Just look at Rumble. It's hard to get a good one because of the amount it costs to keep an app up and running. Paid $13.99 for a small coffee. Where do you live? California, man? Jesus, man. They had a Pride Palestine flag. Yeah, I mean, $14 for a small coffee. That it doesn't surprise me if you live in like California or New York. Trump can't win all the passion, youth, energy. Oh, come on, man. I do remember you. Listen, I respect, as long as you're not a troll about it, man. I mean, you can say whatever you want. But you can't just spam me. The problem is when liberals come in here, they just spam. Elon is interviewing Trump on Monday night, and it's not confirmed it's on X, but I would imagine because Trump said Elon was interviewing him, so it is Elon probably asking the questions or something, I guess. So that's a huge interview for Trump. I mean, it's hard to say how many views it'll get because Twitter's views are all messed up anyways. I mean, they say like it's 500 million views. It's like, come on. It's like whenever you scroll, it's an automatic view. Which was worse, the vaccine or the Olympic opening ceremony? Well, I mean, the Olympic was definitely more grandiose. The vaccine is just pure pop. I mean, I think the vaccine is just... It's disturbing if you think about it. It really is. It's like they're taunting people, and it's like mind control. Like, you have to do this. It's not something to dance over, getting a shot. Like, it's just... It is just so weird to see. It's like weird rich people that, like, toy around with poor people and stuff. It was in June. It was super early for the day. Yeah, that's something you can argue, man. That is something you can argue, that Trump should not have agreed to debate in June. Someone was talking about that last stream. Laura Ingram asked Trump his pronouns are. Yeah, I did see that. She asked it sarcastically too. I mean, not spamming. Yeah, no, you're fine, man. You're fine. The Elon interview will be good. Yeah, I agree. The Elon interview is going to be very important, and Trump's going to at least take over the next day in terms of the news. What happens to Trump if he gets sentenced to jail? Will Kamala not debate him? Well, I think it would help Trump a ton because those cases backfired completely on the Democrats. I don't think he's going to jail at all. Trump, I doubt it. I think it would galvanize people even more. I mean, with everything that Trump's already been through, all of the phony felony charges. Can you do the "you're racist"? I mean, I kind of have to be in a. I gotta be in like a vibe to do it. I gotta be in the zone to do it. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have it in me right now. 2K away from 150. But what does that have to do with Rogan is not as intelligent as people give him credit for? Well, I mean, Rogan is going to gain intelligence by constantly talking to interesting people for 4 hours every day. So I'll give Rogan that. He's probably got a lot of information at this point. But he's still. And listen, Rogan can do whatever he wants. But it's like, dude, you're endorsing someone. It's just a kind of a cop out. But I mean, it is what it is. Big disappointment with Rogan. I'll be honest, I was kind of disappointed as well. I thought Rogan was going to be like, I thought Rogan was definitely going to say, well, Trump is bad, but Kamala is so much worse that I thought he was going to do one of those. And it's like RFK doesn't have a chance to win. I know RFK went on his podcast like maybe twice or something. And maybe he'll get him again. I mean, before the election, who knows? The Hatch Act would have affected Walt's ability to run, so he retired to not go through any problems. I mean, I'd have to look that up. I highly doubt that. I think he probably just wanted an out. I mean, if he was already planning to run, I guess maybe it's different. Still think JD Vance was a good pick. I would have gone with Tulsi. Well, I had said before the pick I would have gone with Tulsi, but no. Listen, the VP, it's overrated how much it matters. It would have been hilarious, though, with Tulsi. Now that Kamal is the chosen candidate, it would have been hilarious. I'm not going to... You're racist, you're racist. January... Should I just start doing all the hits? You're racist, you're sexist, January 6th, January 6th, insurrection, January 6th, January 6th, felony, felon. Trump is a genius with no tax on tips. Yeah, I think that's great. I wonder if they'll try and copy Trump like Harris will. Trump should definitely bring that up at the debate and see if she'll copy him, because either way it looks weak. If she doesn't, then it looks bad, and then if she does, it just looks weak. Kamala's campaign says she will not do Fox News debate. Yeah, that's really weak if that is actually official. You can't. So she gets elevated without winning a single primary, and now she thinks she can pick and choose on which platforms she can debate on. It's ridiculous. I mean, Trump gave a very credible offer. It's two liberals and one conservative networks. How relieved are you that she picked Waltz over Shapiro? Yeah, I think it would have been a little bit of a problem with Shapiro. I mean, you do have the anti-Israel people, but I do think it would have been more of a problem. I mean, there would have been stuff about Shapiro that they would have dug up. Apparently there was a murder or something. I don't know how that would compare to what's happening with Waltz, but... There are lots of conservative women like me. I know tons, many shades, issues. Yeah, I mean he is. He's gonna keep men out of women's sports. That's very important. They can't do it because they'll offend the trans community, so they can't say that. What happened to John Cusick? I think I saw him in a movie recently. Does Biden pardon Hunter? Yeah, well, they're waiting until like he gets more charges. They're trying to wait till he gets more charges, and then they'll pardon all of them. Fox isn't conservative. Are we really going to do this? I mean, in the ecosystem of politics, yes, Fox is conservative when you compare it to all the other networks. Kamala is afraid Sean Hannity will make her feelings hurt. Would he be the one doing it? Yeah, he does kind of host some of the debates, I guess. Trump should pull what Kamala said about September 10th debate. that he said he would be there September. Well, I'm sure he'll show up September 4th and she won't show up, so at least that'll be kind of funny. Thoughts on Paul Ryan? You know, I got asked about Paul Ryan last time, so I'm prepared for this. It's interesting. Paul Ryan's career was ruined by Trump. Young guy, well, maybe you could say it was ruined when Obama beat Romney, but he just got destroyed within the Republican Party. He just got crushed by Trump, and now he doesn't like Trump, obviously. Trump is best as an underdog. Yeah, I mean, back in 2016 for sure. I mean, he's been an underdog his entire political career. Nobody thought he was going to win. The only time he really wasn't an underdog was the 2020 primaries. Or no, the 2020 and 2024 primaries. But even early in 2024, people thought DeSantis was going to beat him. Has Obama written all over it. This isn't Biden team running her to ride power. Yeah, I'm sure Obama has some say. It seemed like Obama was not too happy with the Harris pick. How do liberals celebrate January 6th? Do they gift each other fake Viking horns? Yeah, they like cover them in fake gold, and then it's presents. They got like a fake window that's like knocked out, because that's what they always talk about, how they destroyed the Capitol, so they get like a fake broken window, and that's a gift to someone. They get each other that for Christmas. Most people have no clue who Jill Stein is. Well, of course. I mean, she gets like 1%. Pretty much all actors are gonna look at Ben Stiller. What he said. He said he wants to be black. I mean, I guess maybe he was joking. It's just a weird. I would never say so. It's just a weird thing to say. Yeah, Quinn, you're probably right. It wouldn't be Hannity. You're right. GOP needs to move to the center and appeal to more LGBT. Well, listen, they moved plenty enough. Trust me, they've moved plenty enough since the early 2000s. Yeah, the polls are looking good for Trump. There was a bad poll that came out with Marquette poll that kind of hurt Trump's average, but I think the polls are better. If the debate was later and it was Trump against Biden, do you think Trump would have taken Minnesota, New Mexico? Yeah, maybe. I mean, also, you're looking at New Jersey being in play. I think a lot was in play with Biden. If Trump debated Biden maybe in late September or something, they might still, maybe they would have still tried to, like, what they would have had to have done was actually have, like, him get a medical emergency to remove him at that point, I believe. Or, like, they had to say his health has failed. Like, he cannot serve, and then it would be Harris. I believe that Kamala will not debate Trump. They are running the 2020 ticket to keep her hidden. Repeat of 2020. Well, I do think she's going to at least do one debate, because she agreed to the 10th. If she doesn't do that, that's incredibly weak. That would be hard for them to swing. So right now, you could be right that she only does one debate. She ran from Fox for sure. It's embarrassing. I mean, this woman, she's the one that has something to prove. She got installed. You'd think she'd want to debate every single time. And then she comes out and says Trump is scared, so Trump schedules 3 debates, and she does, and then she gets scared. Ben Stiller is a cuck. Yeah, that was the definition of it, what he did. Waltz blew up faster than Vance did. Yeah, in terms of like the attacks. Megyn Kelly versus Trump. Yeah, that was awesome in 2016. That was in Cleveland. I remember that. Trump was almost killed. Yeah, I mean, everyone forgot about it. It seems like that's a good job by the media. Brett Bart. Yeah, you're right. It would be. Democrats 7D chess outsmarted GOP with early debate and getting millions of illegals to vote. Well, I mean, the early debate, yeah, you could certainly argue that could end up being a big positive for them. I would agree with that. The illegals voting, I mean, what they're the ones that changed all the policies. I don't know how it's a complete mess. I wish we got like an actual number on how many illegals vote in elections. If Trump didn't win, who would have been if he didn't run? Oh, I think it would have been DeSantis. You got to understand, DeSantis was loved back in like 2022. And then the reason people started souring on DeSantis was because he was going up against MAGA. And so they soured on him heavily. But I think it would have been DeSantis. Are the polls better for Trump now than they were in 2016? Yeah, they're exponentially better. Barron watched Aiden Ross. Yeah, I saw that Trump say that. Most voters think seventh. No, that's a small contingent of liberals. I did see a poll, but like right after it happened, where 36% of liberals thought it was staged. I mean, I doubt it's that high now after what's come out, but is it true that Harris's husband got his babysitter? Yeah, it is true. I saw that story when like maybe a week ago they brought it up. Josh, what's up, man? Yeah, I can't believe it's Thursday. It feels like maybe a Tuesday or a Wednesday to me. Monkeypox. I know Alex Jones has been talking about monkeypox. Another COVID type disaster or World War III will get Kamala to run from Joe's basement. Man, if we have another type of something like that, that's just going to be demoralizing, man. DeSantis would be leading by 5 to 8 in the polls right now versus Harris. I mean, it's impossible to know that. I mean, what would that include? Trump not running and endorsing DeSantis, or just retiring from politics altogether? Would have loved to see Tim Scott debate against Waltz. I think JD Vance is a better choice for a debate, honestly, than Scott. You think DeSantis is a lock for 2028? No, there's no way. Also, do you buy in any of the talk that Biden is trying to take back control? No, I don't buy any of that, honestly. I mean, I'd love for it to be true. It'd be awesome to see. But I would be so shocked if something happened at the convention where Biden mounted a comeback or something. It's just... DeSantis is definitely not the favorite for 2028. There's a number of candidates. People would say J.D. Vance is actually the favorite if Trump wins. Now, if Trump loses, obviously J.D. Vance would go way down for 2028. And then you'd be looking at a long list of candidates with DeSantis towards the top, I guess. He's trying to rebuild his political image. I've seen him do some interviews. As long as Trump doesn't speak over and interrupt Kamala, well, it's impossible with the debate format. It's impossible for him to do that because his mic will be muted. Harris' husband was also well known in the gay areas of Hollywood. Yeah, did you see that video when it was Harris, her husband, and then Waltz and his wife, and the dude kind of like did Kamala's husband did like this weird skip. Like he did like this weird like jump, like a euphoric thing. It was like really weird. Nikki Haley running 2028. She's not winning, man. There's no way. I think she's not winning shit in this because there's still a massive contingent of MAGA. It's not like they just go away. Trump is up by 5 in Rasmussen. I saw that. The U.S. is already too far gone. Well, it's hard to really quantify if it's too far gone or not. We really haven't experienced something like that, at least recently. After the DNC, the honeymoon is over. Well, we got to get the honeymoon over now. We need the honeymoon to end. I don't think the DNC is going to do any type of bump for them. Vance versus Obama or Trump versus Obama debate. would be epic. A Michelle Obama debate against them. Youngkin isn't nationally known. Yeah, you're right, he's not. But he is known a little bit more because that was a big upset in Virginia that he had. So some people know him for sure. Biden WWE style, yeah, with music and everything. He doesn't have it in him. Keith Olbermann endorsed Trump. That's realistic. Do you feel Trump feels a slight entitlement to walk right into the White House? It could cost him. I don't think Trump. I mean, he needs to get out and campaign. I will say that if he's a little bit lax on that, then maybe I'll reassess. I don't think he's. I mean, he did kind of force Biden to quit, so obviously I'm sure he's confident. If Trump had won 2020, I think Pence. I don't think so. I don't think they would have gone with Pence, and I'm not sure Trump really would have endorsed Pence either. I know Pence is the VP, and that's what you do, but that's not always how it works out. Look at Biden in 2016 after serving for 8 years under Obama. They told him not to run against Hillary. Democrats keep talking about the border bill that Republicans turned down. How does Trump answer if it gets brought up? Well, that's because there was a bunch of other shit in the bill. It wasn't just for the border, and also they made the mess by executive order on day one, destroying all of Trump's border policies. So they made the mess and then they gaslight. That's just pure gaslighting. They make the mess and then they bring their own bill that has a bunch of bullshit like funding for Ukraine and then say, you're the ones not helping with the border. Okay? I mean, why would they even want to help with the border? They get more illegals, they get more votes. So what is the incentive for liberals to actually secure the border? I don't understand that. I have still yet to hear an argument from liberals passionately why they want the border secured. They can't make one because it's more votes for them. Rumor is Obama sent 3 of his operatives to help run her campaign and tons of friction. There are too many. Harris's campaign, really? Jesus. Nikki Haley is barely a Republican. She's just establishment. Yeah. I mean, and those establishment people have bent over backwards so much and gone so farther from the right in the last 20 years. Custom Lego set of January 6th. There is a made-up custom Lego set of January 6th. It was funny. It's like a meme. Yeah, I think if you search Lego memes, it's on a thumbnail of like a 3 million view video on YouTube. Van Jones he fake cries. I mean, he fake cries. He's already done it like 5 times this year, even from me just seeing it the past like 4 months. Harris says she'll do that. I know, it's just so cringy. It's like, you're in office right now. What are you talking about? Need to see you debate lunatic liberals. It would be so funny. Debate them about January 6th. Or what should I debate them about? Biden signed like 40 executive orders. Well, they all signed a bunch of them. I mean, I actually looked back on all the executive orders, and it's just like Trump appealing all of Obama's, Biden appealing all of Trump's. If Trump gets in, he's gonna appeal all of. It's just like a constant appeal process or repeal. MAGA doesn't realize Tampon Tim is extremely demeaning to women and trans men. Well, no, that's just because that was weird what he did. Ben, you got to admit, man, that was weird. To have tampons in young boys' bathrooms. Is that weird or not? That's a bit weird. The border bill was a total mess. It's just gaslighting. They include a bunch of other shit. You're right. Money for Ukraine, amnesty. They need the amnesty though, and they're definitely gonna do it if she wins. Trump said he would only be a dictator. Yeah, my God, he'd only be a dictator on day one. They're like, oh my God, that means he's gonna be a dictator. No, that's just the day you do all of your shit because you get in immediately and you have to repeal a bunch of crap. to get your presidency off the ground. If a Republican's replacing a Democrat, if a Democrat, that's what he was referencing. And then they try and make it like, oh, it's Project 2025. The astroturfed Kamala hype is going to get worse in the next few months. But don't black pill. Brett memes will be bottled. This doesn't represent real life. I know, I'm not black pilled. There's a lot of people that are black pilled already. It's sad. Do they have a Mar-a-Lago set? Oh, that would be massive. You would have to. That would be like a $600 set. Maybe they got a knockoff Chinese one. No, they don't have. I don't think they have a Mar-a-Lago set. Do you think she will win? Who, Kamala? No. Juan, what's up, man? How Kamala responded to Palestine question during her rally. This DNC will be. Yeah, no, what a weird response. She's like, you're all Trump supporters. MAGA is weird, don't use our talking points. Oh my god, so now the Democrats are claiming ownership of the word weird. Like it's some huge word that nobody used before. They've invented the word weird and they've claimed ownership, and anytime you say weird, you're just copying Democrats. I mean, come on, man. Only two things he said was about the border and drilling. Yeah. Do you think the fake hype is to just try and carry as many House and Senate seats? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I mean, they want to perform well everywhere, but I mean, they also want the executive branch. Let's not kid ourselves. It's not just, oh, we're going to do the fake hype. We know we're not winning the election, but at least we can try and have majority control in the Senate and, and House. They're going to try and win for sure. They're not going to get majority in the Senate. It's basically impossible. Well, it's not impossible, but the House, they'll probably win the House if Kamala wins. If Trump wins, the Republicans will probably win the House. Depends who wins presidency on the House. The House, I think, is around 50-50 right now, unless it updated. Has anyone in the chat been polled? I haven't been polled, no. If Elon banned all Harris accounts and muted the word, what would happen if that's illegal? Muted what word? Weird? It's not illegal. It's a private company, but Elon would never do that. Update on the DG call streams. Yeah, I got to do that, man. I will do that for sure. We'll have to, I don't have an extra phone number for people, but we can just do it through Zoom and just do audio calls that way. Weakest ticket since '84. Oh, I agree. I mean, this is pathetic. They literally had to remove Biden because he was so bad, and then the one they put in had one of the worst approval ratings of any VP in history. I don't know how you can call this any like a powerhouse ticket or anything. And I know they're not calling it that, but it's a horrible ticket by any estimation, by any metric going into this. To have to remove Biden because he was so bad. I mean, that's an incumbent president being removed with blackmail. What Trump needs to do during the debate is ignore the moderator and ask her what her stance is on Israel and Palestine. That will be the end of her honeymoon career. Yeah, the liberals are kind of screwed on that. They've been playing both sides. Remember, they sent aid to both Israel for weapons and then Palestine for the result of those weapons, like aid to like food and stuff and rescue stuff. It's just ridiculous. I mean, they're playing both sides. If people can't eat, Trump should never talk crowds. What do you mean if people can't eat because of the rising prices? You consider yourself an LGBT ally. Uh, an LGBT ally. I mean, listen, I don't have anything against gay people, but when you got all the flags and stuff, it's just the flags are where there were more when back in 2016 in San Francisco there were more gay pride flags, and I'm talking big flags than American flags. That's just ridiculous. I mean, to even have it's just how is it even so close? I don't know. Well, I mean, it's just American politics. People, I mean, if people are actually voting for Kamala to win, you're gonna lose some money. I mean, come on, like that's just not a good idea. This is a horrible ticket. The dude was right. It's a horribly weak ticket. Not sure if I can listen to Kamala for 90 minutes straight. Maybe that's a good thing they're hiding her. Yeah, I mean, how long will she talk at the convention? Probably, I'd say probably 45 minutes, I'd say. There's no way she makes it. She's not talking an hour. The left is kind of, yeah, I mean, they've sent money to both. I mean, that's the definition of playing both sides. Do a chat poll, Trump versus Harris versus Stein. I think Stein would win, honestly, man. Stein would probably win that. Why do people need to broadcast their sexuality preferences? But I think it's like a flex. It's like, oh yeah, we can do this. This we own Republicans. We can. I mean, they got like all these, how about the sidewalks with the gay pride sidewalks, and someone messes it up, they get a felony charge. Meanwhile, they burn American flags, nothing happens. Come on, guys. All those people, by the way, all those people that burn those American flags, did they even get charged for anything? I mean, it's like, dude. Maybe they did, I don't know. You guys remember like 3 weeks ago when they did that? They burned the giant American flags in D.C. And they don't get charged probably. Yeah, she's gonna be obviously she's gonna be totally scripted at the DNC. I don't think she'll try and get to 45 minutes. I don't know if she can get there. She might max out at like 37. Seeing the artificial surge the last couple of weeks really makes me wonder what could happen the next go around. Would bet the House 49-49 was impossible at any point following the RNC. Well, Kevin, I understand what you're saying. I do. And, I mean, I didn't think it was going to be 49-49 either. It's a bit of a surprise. But this is anecdotal. It really doesn't make... Whether Trump's at 60%, 42%, 73%, in August, it's just... It doesn't really matter. But, yeah, they're using AI to fake their rallies now. It's sad. Pull up what you want head-to-head polling. I think Harris is leading it because of that. That's a Marquette poll. But the Rasmussen poll did come in. They don't even have the Marquette. Where's the... Yeah, there's the Marquette poll. It has her +4. So Trump's gotten some... The CNBC poll was good for Trump. Trump talked more than an hour today. Yeah, I know. That was a good... it's good to see him come out and answer some questions. I mean, it just shows, we can actually hear what Trump has to say. There's some trust there. I think a lot of it is just... A lot of their policies are just hated by so many people. Harris just can't sit through... I mean, I know people say, well, she can't talk, but just in general, I think a lot of their policies are so bad and so hated. A lot of them are just anti-rights in terms of government control and everything like that. Trump spoke for an hour and 30 minutes at the RNC. Yeah, I know. He spoke like an hour 37. People said it dragged on, and it did drag on a little bit, honestly. Harris hasn't done a single press conference. I know. You saw a tall, bearded dude wearing a miniskirt last time. Was walking in PA, so Harris has a great chance to win the state. Where were you? Probably Philadelphia. Had to have been a big city. Trump's the first I know. I think you already said that. Trump sounded like a psychopath today. I mean, what is it with these liberals? They have to sensationalize everything. I mean, Trump could have went out and said anything, and you guys would have said, "Oh, he's so evil." It's like we're just done with it, man. I'm an independent, and I don't know a single, thing that I'm not sure what you're saying. Is Trump in Montana tomorrow because of the? Yeah, it's the senator race. I thought he was already in Montana, but I guess he's going tomorrow. I thought that was something that already happened, and Trump was going to a swing state soon. So funny when Vance rolled up to Harris's plane. Yeah, that's really what you have to do. But I think that got very little play outside of Twitter, unfortunately, which is typical. It was a pretty badass thing to do. I feel he will lose Michigan and Wisconsin close. Pennsylvania is everything. Screw the blowout. We got to win. The ticket will destroy our country. 12 years of leftist policies will finish us. Well, yeah, the immigration's going to finish it. It's going to get further and further left with the immigration. That's the problem. They're going to let more and more people. Well, they're going to give amnesty to the 10 million as well. You do think he's going to lose Michigan and Wisconsin? I mean, I can't sit here and say one way or another right now. If you think that, probably because she picked Waltz and not Shapiro. I don't know, man. I do think Pennsylvania is huge. Normally, those states tend to vote together, the Rust Belts, but who knows? They're all very close. Trump sold out to the donor class. I mean, yes, when you become a politician, that's what happens, unfortunately. I mean, maybe we will get a pure it's just what you have to do. Like if you went into politics, it's just a completely different thing. I know everyone thinks like, oh, we're going to get someone, you're not going to sell out or something, and you get into it. It's just, it's all controlled. I don't think people who plan to vote Harris Waltz actually know how the liberal ticket they plan for vote for. Well, I mean, listen, they know that it's just liberal policy, so they'll vote for it, honestly. Raskin gave Biden a plan. Likely Trump will win. Liberals in Congress will say he can't. I did see that. I don't think that's going to happen, but imagine if that happened, dude. We would be in a really, really bad place. So Trump wins, and then he's not allowed in. But I don't think that's going to happen. No, I don't even think that can happen, honestly, because Republicans would have a say. Little new to politics, I'm really confused how Kamala is able to surge in polls, and we say it's just a honeymoon period. Like, do people just stop doing polls and decide not to vote for Kamala? Well, it's just media hype around somebody new, and she hasn't talked at all. That's basically it. So it's like she's unscathed right now. She said nothing, and they're giving her all this hype, and she's like this new liberal light that's gonna beat the big bad evil Trump. I think Pennsylvania is a battleground this election. Well, Pennsylvania is the most important state. Still an incel? I was never an incel. I don't hate women. Trump is rich. He does not need money. Well, I mean, yes, but that's really not how it works. You have to get influence in D.C. It takes other things than that. I mean, and even Trump, it's not like he's going to use his own money. Conservatives is way better than LGBT Democrats, but yet most LGBT is Democrat. Hope we don't lose the country. Yeah, I mean, look at what happened. Look at what's happening in the UK. It's not good. I mean, you could just go back to that one tweet in the UK. It's very concerning. This is a crazy post. Think before you post. They will basically prosecute you if you retweet a meme. Dems won't certify Trump. It's unknown right now. But yeah, I should do a video on that because that's interesting. I mean, if they're going to come out and say it, but it's only one. But listen, Biden did misspoke when he said that, by the way. I know what Biden said, and he did correct it. I mean, it's not surprising he misspoke, but I don't think Biden was intentionally saying that, oh, if Trump gets in, we're not going to do it. I think he just misspoke, honestly. Waltz looks like an offensive line coach. Well, he was a college football coach. Yeah, I mean, the dude is liberal. I mean, as long as he's not trolling, it's not a big deal, man. I believe Virginia may be in play, along with New Jersey, New York. Zeldin pulled New York. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's a very bullish opinion. It's hard to say that those states are in play right now with how the general election polls are going. UK is full blown to terror. Yeah, UK is as bad as it's obviously not as bad as you can get, but I can't believe they're not trying to overthrow it. I mean, that's horrible. Well, it's the system, Julian. It's the system. Gonna regret the June debate big time. I mean, it is pretty obvious, you know. But they could have just removed Biden anyways, I guess, you know, if they knew he wasn't good enough. Did he coach at Penn State? Yeah, Joe Rogan, it's not surprising. Joe Rogan came out and endorsed RFK. I thought Rogan might have said, well, Republicans are bad, Democrats are worse. So I'm gonna go with the lesser of two evils, because Rogan is really not a conservative, but he's been saying a lot of conservative things. Waltz is a socialist communist. Waltz is obsessed with illegals, that's for sure. Do you think it's an exaggeration that we won't have a country if Harris wins? Well, of course that's an exaggeration. Listen, Democrats are saying it. I'm sure Republicans are saying it. It was said in 2016. It was said in 2020. It's going to be said in 2028. I mean, nothing's happened. Nothing happens until something happens. That's what I'll say about it. But it is an exaggeration, obviously. The problem is it's a compound with all the illegals already in the country. They're not going to deport them. They're not incentivized to deport them at all. Would you vote for me in 2052? Dude, I mean, what are you, 10 years old right now? Are you eligible in 2052? From New York, I've seen more Trump flags out than I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, no, I agree, but I think also the assassination attempts also helped Trump in terms of, I know a lot of people were more out with their Trump support when he almost got killed. Waltz is a down-to-earth family man. He's actually a man of honor. He's a man of honor, but he bails on his battalion. It's sad to say. Waltz is I mean, the stuff that Waltz has done is very problematic. Like allowing his city to burn is disgusting. Even the mayor said that he requested the National Guard, and Waltz made fun of, or he requested, support, and Waltz made fun of them and said, no, it's not going to help. I mean, dude, all these people, they supported the BLM riots. They supported the burning of their cities. It's hard to... Main issue is economy. If the market tanks 30 to 60 days before the election, it's over for the incumbent. Kamala is not the incumbent whether they make her 47 or not. Well, then what are you implying? If she's not the incumbent, then... I mean, the market's tanking really wouldn't matter. You're 16 right now? All right, man. You'll be 44 in 2052. Can I be your VP in 2036? You have no scandals. They'll make something up. And they'll lie about something, and you'll be tethered to it. That's just how it works. Walt's down to earth family man. He sat back and let communities burn. That's what I said. That's disgusting. Well, he did it in the name of like not being racist too. It's the cowardice. I will say that the chat is flowing pretty nicely tonight. How is this a close race? It's the machine. The machine is working for Harris right now, and she hasn't said anything that to smear her really. How am I doing, Pizza? I'm doing all right, man. Today was, I guess, I had a cryotherapy session. Thoughts on Waltz and horses? I think it's weird, man. It's real weird. Waltz is a combination of Bernie with the charisma of Kamala. Well, I mean, it's hard to compare because Bernie ran for president. Actually, this guy was kind of a nobody. Did you see the compilation of news saying Waltz is cut? What a weird statement. No, but I did see articles all compiled together talking about Waltz being like America's dad. It's the same thing they said about Tim Kaine. I saw that tweet, and there was like all these articles, all the major news networks. America's dad, America's dad, America's dad. Would I trust Waltz with my horses? I think he'd do some weird things to him. That's some weird stuff. Really, just weird. JD Vance pick is looking better and better every day. Yeah, people are still upset with the JD Vance pick, but I agree with you. I think the JD Vance pick should be all right, even though I didn't really want it. But you have to just, it's not a huge deal anyways. It's not going to win or lose Trump the election. The problem with Vance is he really doesn't add a state. I guess Waltz doesn't either because he's Minnesota. Deeply concerned by online polls that had Kamala up by 10%. Come on, man. What online poll even? I mean, is it even worthy of going on Real Clear Politics? I wanted to know we really don't agree politically, but I do really enjoy your non-political content, stadiums, 9/11, all that great channel. Bless you. Well, yeah, I've lost some fans with the politics stuff. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. See, the thing is with most of these channels, conservative or liberal, they're just do politics from the start, so they've got echo chambers. And so with me, I was getting liberals. I mean, obviously I'm doing videos not about politics, so nobody really cares. So I'm getting everyone in here, and then I do a shift to politics, and then when it comes out that I'm clearly on one side, some people are going to be very angry about that, which is understandable. I mean, I do get pissed off when some people who are like, they don't talk politics and they start talking about it. I do get angry about that, so. But I was always going to talk politics, man. I mean, it just is what it is. Do you think Gavin Newsom would have a fair shot at winning? I think it'd be surprising if Newsom won. I mean, Newsom does not seem like he has much national appeal, especially in the Rust Belt being from California. They would certainly, I think I could see a Newsom-Whitmer ticket. That wouldn't surprise me if they did a Newsom-Whitmer ticket. Do I like chewing tobacco? No, that would be a nasty addiction, man. Gavin Newsom could win, but he doesn't tick the diversity box. Well, really, technically, they could go with a president or a nominee who's white, but the VP would have to very likely be at least a woman, preferably a minority female, which I don't even know who they would pick right now, minority female. Vance is being underestimated by the liberal media. He will thump Waltz in the debate. Yeah, I think it'll be a solid Vance victory. The thing with the debates that you have to worry about, especially a VP debate, we know immediately coming out of the debates, unless it's a crazy shellacking, half the people will say Trump, or half the people will say Vance won, half the people will say Waltz won. So that's going to be the immediate thing coming out of it. But maybe it's a big enough shellacking to where they don't do it. Are the online polls saying Kamala's with a D? No, they're basically tied. The online polls, they're not. I mean, I don't even know. Like the online polls, are you just talking about polls in general, or are you talking about like different polls maybe? Newsom could win if he were the nominee right now versus Kamala. What do you mean versus Kamala? Mark Kelly is going to be. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about that. Obama apparently wanted Mark Kelly. I think he might have declined going with Kamala because maybe he is waiting for 2028. So maybe it will be Kelly. I'm sure Newsom's going to try. Newsom's kind of comparable in terms of where they're at in their political careers to DeSantis. I mean, DeSantis definitely, is a lot more likable, I would say. But they're kind of at similar spots in their political careers. So I think they're both going to run in 2028. There was more videos and images of the 9/11 hijackers just prior to the attacks. Is there more? Oh, I'm sure there is more. There's an image of one of them at a gym, and he's got a gym membership. There's definitely more photos that I haven't shown on my YouTube channel about them. Why is trans men having access to Dude, it was 10-year-old boys. Come on. I wouldn't defend that, man. Come on. I think the Kamala ticket was designed to stop the bleeding Biden was having. However, Obama miscalculated. Seemed that the bleeding will be worse for House and Senate. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Technically, you could say, I mean, based on the polls, they're going to say, oh, it did stop the bleeding. But I don't know that Obama really wanted Harris, honestly. It seemed like once Obama endorsed Harris, pretty much everyone was forced to go with her because if the sitting president does it, it's going to have a big impact. I mean, listen, if the sitting president endorses someone and that person is not the person that's chosen, there's just a crazy infighting with that party going on. There's no way Trump loses Wisconsin. Do you agree the polls always downplay? Yeah, no, I mean, if he's only up by like a point, listen, if we take a look at the 2020 polls and 2016 polls, you are right. He should not lose Wisconsin. You're correct. Vivek Vance in 2028. I mean, that would be an interesting ticket. I think Ben is paid by Act Blue. I mean, I just think he's a liberal dude. That's all. Can you go live during the debates? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try and go live during the Elon Musk Trump interview. So if anyone wants to tune into that, that'll be on Monday. I don't know what time yet. You have dedicated liberal trolls. Well, again, my channel was not politics at the start, so you're going to gain people from both sides, just talking about different things that aren't politics. And then when I talk about politics, some people aren't going to like it. I'm an 8th grader who wants to be a politician one day. I'm also a Republican. Well, look, I mean, I started, liking politics probably in maybe 10th grade. That's pretty early, man. Wow. I was never a big Trump guy. I'd rather see someone else be the pick. But they always attack him. Yeah. I mean, definitely Trump gets a lot of heat. Gets a lot more heat than everyone else, for sure. And they say, well, it's deserved. I mean, Trump is like the Mona Lisa of hate for mainstream media. Vivek would have smoked Waltz. Yeah, Vivek's a good debater. I mean, I liked Vivek back in the debates. I hope Virginia will turn red in my state. I believe it's possible. Yeah, no, Virginia is possible. I just want to see updated polls in Virginia, because all these polls have shifted slightly more towards Harris. The polls in Virginia were basically tied with Trump and Biden. Why can't you watch the? Well, I mean, I can watch it, but I'd rather just live stream it. I've always been big into politics. Yeah, same. I think Biden showed Obama a big middle finger for ousting him. Yeah, no, that was the report, and then that was the report that Biden was pissed off at Obama, so he endorsed Kamala quickly. You would vote for, well, I mean, he's really not considered a Democrat. It's like Democrats saying they'd vote for Liz Cheney. You know how that stuff works when people become independents. Yeah, the interview's on Monday, so it's in a few days. It might be just a like you know they're probably going to be very happy with each other. Let's just say that. Why are big cities liberal even in the 60s? It's just a lot of younger people in big cities live in apartments. You get older, you move out of there, you get your own house, things like that. That's a simple way to put it. Younger people like being closer together as well. Oversampling Democrats. I do have to say, a lot of these polls we really don't have the true numbers on. And I was told the Marquette poll was a complete fraud where they were I mean, the Marquette poll maybe. Like, I want to see some of these polls and just see if they are oversampling Democrats. Where's the where's the total voting intention? Do they not even have that on here? Party. Yeah, so I think this is what it is. 339 to 370. Man, so is that seriously an oversample of 5% for the Democrats? 49 to 44? I mean, listen, that's a ridiculous oversample, man. Come on. You can't be oversampling by 5, but you can't 5%. People who got liberals were pro-slavery. Yeah, they just cope and say the party switched. Joe Rogan has Trump derangement syndrome. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I think Rogan likes to appear independent. It's easier for him. I'm hoping the polls are wrong on how close Kamala is, but I see and talk many of her supporters in Central Ohio. Really, in Central Ohio? What, like Columbus? I mean, I could see that, I guess. AOC would beat Trump. Come on, AOC. There's no way the liberal establishment, the Democratic establishment would even let that happen. You will have the interview here. Yeah, I'll have it live here. I'll just be reacting to it. I mean, you can react to stuff like that. Why is Carrie Lake always losing? I know, dude. You're right. She always is losing in all those polls. You are right. I saw a poll today. She was down by like 13 or something. Don't see how RFK is a viable candidate. He's not. It's just like for people who don't want to pick a side. And, because listen, you'll get criticism for saying you're voting for Trump, or you'll get criticism saying you're voting for Biden. I mean, so it is kind of easier to just say, I'll just stay in the middle. Independent vote should always be polled at like 50%. They make up a huge majority of the nation. Yeah, they tend, it depends, but the thing is, it's always easier for people, they might lean one way, but then they say they're an independent. That happens a lot. But no, I agree. Independents are they're a huge part. There's a huge part. There's two extremes, and then there's establishments and some other stuff. And then, a lot of them are independents, but they lean one way. Make more crypto videos. I mean, I do like talking about crypto. Will you be live election night? I mean, I should be, yeah. Trump Musk interview will go well for him. Well, the Aiden Ross interview did go very well, so I think this one will also go well. You're gonna be the Rust Belt for Halloween. Just have all the state outlines as you tattooed. AOC isn't old enough. I think she is. I think she's 36. Rogan is the funniest. I'm gonna have to disagree with that comic in the world. Will RFK have a chance to win? No, I don't think he doesn't really have a chance to win any states either. I don't think he'll get one electoral vote. The country's just too partisan for RFK to win anything. And let's be honest, his voice does not help him. Rogan cannot open. I mean, I feel like at this point, though, John, at this point, it's like, who cares? I mean, you're worth $300 million, I mean, I give the guy credit for still, doing the podcast and everything like that. Because some days there's got to be a lack of motivation, You're worth $300 million. Or whatever he is, I don't know, something like that. He is a maverick when it comes to podcasts. But dude, I heard podcasts nowadays are just miserable to start. Like nobody can get everyone has a podcast. It's so oversaturated. And also the idea of trying to get fans from a podcast where your face is not on it, if it's just listening or you're just talking for an hour. Like who would actually invest an hour into someone? Who would invest an hour into someone if they don't know who they are? It's so hard to get people with podcasts. So hard to get new fans. The Hamas tards were interrupting Kamal Israeli. I know that's going to be a growing problem for them. Is the election night goes to like 2:30 a.m.? Are you going to live stream? I mean, I'll live stream until they call it. That's not too bad as long as it's like 2:30 or 3. I mean, an early merry January 6th, yeah. I mean, it's more than the halfway point to January 6th. That's a good reminder. That's a joyous occasion. It's a good reminder. AOC Trump debate would be a debate for the ages. World War III, World War III in debate form. Nah. We need an October surprise. We got to get an October surprise about Waltz. We got to get a nice October surprise about Kamala. There's apparently a lot of October surprises on Kamala. This is going to be beautiful. Well, Kerry Lake is just a little bit more, MAGA extreme, which Arizona it's not going to like. I mean, Trump needs to take Arizona probably by 5 points for her to win. Maybe. I mean, it's just going to be hard. If Trump wins Arizona by 3, she's not going to win. Let's just be honest. Unless something changes. Even Zuckerberg called Trump, apologized. Yeah, I know. I saw that. Called Trump a legend. Now could anyone... Yeah, Zuckerberg, that was good to see. Obviously he donated like $450 million to the Dems in 2020. But, yeah, I mean, Zuckerberg calling him... He was moved by the Trump surviving that, obviously. Have I heard of we're not going to do the 13 keys, man. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do that tonight. Vance already let the couch surprise out early. Well, I mean, at least it's out in the open. Now we've got all the surprises, the October surprises on the liberals. If Trump assassination attempt happened 2 weeks before the election, how would that... Trump would win, for sure. If that happened that close to the election. October surprise, maybe involving Hunter and Joe, maybe involving Hunter, Joe, and Kamala. Trump needs to go to the Rust Belts. Yeah, I know. Harris has been going on to Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Wisconsin. Trump is going to hit the Rust Belt soon, I would hope. AOC would be spewing douche water out of her ears. Yeah, AOC in a debate would be interesting. Your current model has Kamala winning Florida by 1.1. I mean, dude, come on. Your model, according to your calculations. You think Cali will turn red in 20 years? It's hard to predict that. Yes, I do hear about the 13 keys every night. It's just, can I get a break from them, man? Hunter slept with Kamala while he was high, while he was on coke when he had cocaine in his system. Yeah, that was a rumor. We'll see if it comes out. You don't think that they would replace Waltz? I think it would just be a horrible look if they did. I mean, it would show that they didn't vet him properly. They're going to try and ride it out with Waltz and all this stolen valor stuff. Dems are stuck with Harris and Waltz. Otherwise, yeah, they pretty much are at this point. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess. I do not trust. Yeah, that I also said that immediately when Zuckerberg said that. He was like, "Oh, Trump's a hero and stuff." You can't really trust him after what happened in 2020. Oof. Joe Milton, I guess, playing in a preseason game. Yeah, here's Rogan. To us, this is Rogan being a fence sitter as usual and taking no meaningful side. He picks a candidate that he knows can't win, that people like, as a way of not participating in the narrative. Same reason he won't interview Trump, so cowardly. Yeah, I mean this obviously got a lot of reaction. This is what Rogan tends to do. He tends to pick an. I mean, in 2020 he didn't decide either of them. 2024, I think it's just easier for him in terms of not getting criticism to not pick one of them. Rogan doesn't want to make waves. What he said wasn't bad. He's red pilled a lot. That's a good thing, at least. No, I agree with you. He is. He's a lot of his talking points are just pure conservative talking points. I think he said the 2020 election was rigged. Honestly, he might have also said that recently. So he's certainly got Republican talking points. So I mean, there's some good questions here, but yeah, sports are crazy, man. They really are. This all of the people that control sports are liberal. It's because the athletes are all liberal, so they have to. I think that's what it is. But UK speech crackdown reminds him of USSR. Yeah, I mean that's basically what's happening. If you look, I can't believe they tweeted that out. It's really sad what they tweeted out. The UK government, that is. She doesn't have the ability to go off the teleprompter. I mean,
clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. And listen, I am clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. I took on perpetrators of all kinds. I took on perpetrators of all kinds and had a summer job at McDonald's. I had a summer job at McDonald's. So hear me when I say, so hear me, Detroit, when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. I know Donald Trump's type. And are we ready to fight for it?
yeah, I mean, it's just a joke. Athletes are not liberal. I mean, some of them are, dude. You should see what happened in 2020. They literally had jerseys that were liberal. Nike is liberal. I agree with you there. All those major corporate. Look at Google. I mean, Jesus. Football keeps politics out of it. Watch college football forever and never saw any propaganda. Yeah, me neither. Especially with college, because it's just kids, you know. Did you see Yeah, I did see that. They had to block it. You just use a VPN. I saw that. It was 4chan that started that trend. I mean, what a mess that is, man. When will Kamala have a press conference like Trump did? I don't know. She said by the end of the month. I came back from bathroom and heard Harris thought it was an ad. That's funny. She had a summer job. Holy shit. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is certainly not liberal, but Aaron Rodgers is kind of, I mean, imagine if he was RFK's running mate, just random. They cheer after every 5 words. That's what I was saying in my video, dude. That's why there's no substance to any of these rallies. They do cheer after every 5 words, and it's because there's little Harris campaign managers around telling them after, like, she says a thing to cheer, and then she says another thing, cheer. There's no actual, I mean, it's just constant cheering. Brian Kelly got canceled for changing his accent. Yeah, when he went to LSU, I saw that. He tried to have a southern... Well, that was a terrible accent. To be fair, that was a horrible accent. I mean, it was really funny. Trump needs to get the ads up. Yeah, Trump said he had a bunch of ads up today. I really don't see them. He said today in his press conference he had a bunch of ads. I don't know. I'm not seeing them too much. Yeah, she just talks about... I mean, you're right. It is total NPC. It's just like, Jesus, man. It's robotic. Yeah, Kamala Harris hasn't been to the border, and she hasn't been to Europe. You know, what does it matter? You're right. What a horrible quote. Rest in peace, Joe Rogan. I mean, it's not too surprising. I still hope Rogan will at least interview Trump. Just to see it, it would be a spectacle to see that, to see Trump on Rogan. NBA is 98% lib. Well, I can guarantee you, Kyrie's not Democrat or Republican. He's Jaylen Brown, I think, is probably liberal. Chick-fil-A. Yeah. We actually had a big storm. There was a bunch of... Dude, we had a huge storm. It only lasted like 5 minutes, but so much power went out. Like, people's power went out for like it's going to be out for 5 days. Luckily, it didn't happen to, I guess, my neighborhood, thank God. But yeah, dude, there were like, in my city, there were like areas, like restaurants that had no power. Simone Biles had a meltdown about Trump. Who cares about Simone Biles, honestly, man? I saw what she said about how it's a black job. I mean, will college sports eventually become more I don't think so. I think politics is going to stay out of college. Who am I voting for? I'm going to take the Rogan approach, but it's going to be Jill Stein is who I'm voting for. I'm going to one up Rogan. Netflix is woke. Yeah, they got criticized for having that Rogan special because a bunch of freaking liberals got angry because there were jokes about trans people, I guess. No, we're not doing the vaccine dance. That got copyrighted. That was hilarious. That's actually an evil thing. The vaccine dance. It's the vaccine. The vaccine. Haven't watched a second of the Olympics. I watched maybe like a minute, honestly. Joe Rogan Netflix special was not funny. I think Rogan is overrated. His comedy's overrated because he's a massive podcaster, so everyone just kisses up to him because they want to be on his podcast. Let's be honest. That's my hot take. Sports went to shit once betting got legal. Yeah, I mean, there's like now it's all about betting. It feels like a lot of it is just all betting, dude. But you know what I hate? It's like a pet peeve. I do sometimes hate when they've got like the on the scoreboard they've got like the line like someone is -7 and then they've got like percent chance to win. I just don't need to see that. Like it's just too much. Herb Street is conservative. Kirk, really? I mean, it doesn't really surprise me. What is Rogan's issue with Trump? He just doesn't like the party system. He says, both parties are gaslight each other and they're bad. I mean, it's kind of what he's always said. Where are you from? Ohio. Rogan doesn't want to endorse. No, I don't think that would happen. I think Spotify would still have him. I mean, he signed a contract extension there recently. Did you see the Turkish guy at the shooting event? No, I didn't. Oh, yeah. That's like a big meme now. With just the glasses and... Or not really wearing anything and just being a badass. I saw that. He got like silver, apparently. DNC will be chaos with the Hamas people. Yeah. I wonder if they're going to try and get the Hamas people out of there, but it'll be interesting. Submit 2 apps for the same application. One I'm white, one I'm black. I get the interview as a black guy, but don't get job, obviously. The white guy got the message, we moved on. It's a fun experiment to do, but I don't think, it's pretty obvious that happens. They still need to fill social quotas. I thought you were from somewhere in New England. That's just a random, it's funny, but no, I'm not from New England. Massachusetts? You vote for Chase Oliver, the wacko libertarian? Did you see U.S.? I did see they almost lost, and then they came back late. You quit watching baseball when 2 dudes kissed in a commercial? For AIDS? Dude, there's no way. Come on. Have I watched the Timcast podcast? I don't watch much of it now. I heard someone shouted me out on it like a week ago. My shining moment. Why do liberals say Trump supporters are in a cult? Yeah, it's a joke. Listen, we're in a cult, but you guys think that men can get pregnant, but we're the ones in a cult. We're in a cult, but Kamala Harris's approval rating improves by 20% with her hiding in a basement. But yeah, we're in a cult. Yeah. It is just gaslighting. They want to gaslight you. saw you roasting someone today in the X comments. Yeah, I was. I'll try and be on X a little bit more. You know, you get some live fish with the liberals, and it's fun to respond. Best city up and coming area in the country? It'd probably be somewhere in Texas. Dude, I can't live in Texas because of the heat. I tell you, I saw this YouTube channel. They've got these beautiful newly built homes, like almost mansion style for like $500K in parts of Texas. There are some very livable parts. I mean, that's why everyone's moving there, I guess. But I was surprised when I saw this YouTube channel talking about it. Some of them were very ugly, but they were just big homes for like brand new, like 450, 500K. In other states, they would be like 2.5 million. The Fenway Bowl, it's always a crap bowl that's played at 11 a.m. Is Vance liked in Ohio? CNN always talks about how he barely won Ohio. Yeah, honestly, it was not a very good performance for Vance in Ohio in 2022. He won by 5. Trump won in 2020 by 8. It was not a great performance, let's just say that. Yeah, Ohio's going to be red for sure. Yeah, dude, I remember that, RB. That was hilarious. I was like, that's my cousin. And he asked me for legal advice. And I told him to sue. And people just got so angry. I mean, just lying, just trolling. 103 in Texas. It's always hot, so hot in Texas, man. During the summer, it's brutal. In Houston, it's so bad. Polymarket claiming it's a toss-up. Well, listen, it's just based off of where the money is going and stuff. So they're gonna shift the odds a little bit. Politics has no place in sports. I agree. I think when you intertwine them, it's bad. Anywhere around me, 4-bed, 3-bath are going for 800K. Yeah. I mean, that's a normal rate now. You can literally get basically a new home built in the middle of some random field. Well, not a random field. These are actually in high upscale neighborhoods. They're typically ugly on the exterior. You're talking about McMansions. McMansions, I remember doing that video. Everyone is moving there. Yeah, I mean, isn't Elon Musk, I think he moved all of his factories there, I want to say, to Texas. I think he moved out of California. Humidity is horrible. Humidity is so bad. There's no humidity in Arizona, but yeah, Texas's humidity is so much worse than just dry heat in Arizona or Las Vegas. I went to Las Vegas when I was younger, and it was like 115 degrees. I mean, it's hot, but it's dry heat. Rogan is fence sitting. Yeah, he is fence sitting. It's not surprising. I think if RFK drops out, he'll just be like, oh, Trump's the lesser of two evils, probably. Polymarket gave Trump a 35%. That's actually good compared to some of the other things in terms of models. 35% chance. That's a good chance. That's actually good because in a lot of the models had Trump at like a 10% chance. You know, Huffington Post had Trump at like a 2% chance. You see Taylor Swift almost get killed. I mean, I know they had to cancel the tours there because of threats. I know that. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Daniel, no, I'm not staying. I'm not moving to El Paso. Come on. Sports, I'm not answering that. Come on, like, I'd pay $1,000 to see Kamala in person. Her rallies have the biggest crowds you've ever seen for a politician. I know listen, when you have an AI, you can make a rally 1 million people. You're right. With the AI implemented, you can have 1 million people there. How much would you pay to avoid a year in prison? I'd pay $10,000 for you to stop trolling. Well, I mean, I would pay. That's actually kind of an interesting question, honestly. How much would I pay to not avoid prison? I mean, a year in prison, that's a lot a year, man. I don't know. You'd have to think, it's hard to say. I mean, depends how much money you have, right? All right, guys, make sure you follow me on X. But I'll be